Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another maybe monthly vlog. This is the vlog for July of 2025, so 6 months in. We're halfway through the year. And yeah, just before we get into today, with everything today, just want to thank everybody for the continued support. Still hoping to hit 2,000 by the end of the year, so if you guys do like the videos, I try not to do this too much, but if you guys do like the videos, you like the playthroughs, you like what we're doing here, and you do watch the videos and you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. It doesn't do anything for you guys. It doesn't cost you anything, but it makes a big difference to me. So if you guys do that stuff, I appreciate it. Commenting, liking the videos, all that stuff helps quite a bit. So yeah, so let's kind of go over some stuff we had in June, and then we'll get into some stuff coming up in July, and time to talk about the main topic for today. So in June, we did a couple 5x5 playthroughs, not too many. We did one at the beginning of June for Dune. We did Dune Imperium. It was our third of the 5x5 playthroughs, and then we did our third Darwin's Journey playthrough at the end of June. So really not a whole lot happening for that. We'll get some more going. I need to do a Feast for Odin again, and that's the one that I don't have anything stored up. Like the two playthroughs I've done is all I've done for the 5x5, so I've got to get that game back out and get that stuff taken care of. So we'll be doing that very soon. But yeah, we'll continue that on. We're still on good pace, I believe. I think we've done, what have we done for the 5x5? Is there an easy way for me to check what's on here? We've done 13 videos. We've done 13 playthroughs for the 5x5. So it's halfway through the year. So we're on pace. We're fine. So yeah, so we've done that. We do have, we had the poll for June was a deck building theme poll, and Lost Ruins of Arnak and Viscounts of the West Kingdom won out on those. So check out those playthroughs. I want to start a Lost Ruins of Arnak campaign. So we'll probably, the aim is to start it this month. I think I can start it this month, so we're going to be doing that in July, hopefully. But we did those. We had our Marvel Legendary playthrough based on the Thunderbolts / New Avengers, so check that video out if you haven't. I always like doing Marvel Legendary playthroughs based on the TV shows and movies, so of course with Ironheart just ending, we'll be doing that very soon. I think waiting a month might be too long, so I may only wait like 2 or 3 weeks. So we may do the Ironheart video before the end of July. Normally it would be like the beginning of August when we do it, like a month after, but we'll probably end up doing it before the end of the month. So check that out if you haven't. For Thunderbolts, we did some playthroughs of some other games, just a couple other ones. So we did like another playthrough of Marvel Dice Throne Missions. We did another playthrough of Wormspan, but this time on the hardest difficulty with Ravel level 5 and the bot level 5. We did another playthrough of Scar of Bray, so check that out. I realized with Cascadia that I hadn't ever played the Landmarks expansion, so I did a solo playthrough of that, showing off how the landmarks work. I like the landmarks in that actually quite a bit, and I've been playing a lot of Cascadia. The last few, how much Cascadia have I played? I played 8 games of Cascadia in June, so I've played a decent amount of Cascadia, and I played a few games of Calico, so I was kind of getting those out. So I had some fun with those. So yeah, so that's probably that. And then in the beginning of July, the beginning of the month in July, we did I did my most anticipated games for the last half of the year. Oh, hold on, before we get into that, we did a playthrough of Galileo Galilei, which is over there. I want to call that one out because I did a poll with some games I was interested in, and you guys voted overwhelmingly on that game. So I decided to pick it up because, without you guys do watch the channel. Because you guys watch the channel, I can afford to buy a couple different extra games a year. So I appreciate that. So I wanted to kind of turn around and make that a thing for you guys. And of course, like I said, it was a game I was interested in. And I heard mixed stuff about the solo mode. I like the solo mode. I think it's a great solo mode. So if you guys want to check that out, please check that out. I'll have another playthrough of that coming up in this month. That I've already got recorded, so that will be coming through. And I may do this periodically. I may put up some games I'm interested in and see what you guys, kind of put some feelers out there and see what you guys think. I like Reef Project, still another one that I'm really interested in. I just haven't pulled the trigger on, and that was the second voted one by a long shot. I mean, it was by a long shot. Like, the difference between first and second was huge. So Galileo Galilei is one you guys voted on, and like I said, I'll probably do that periodically. And it actually has me excited about his other game, which was Tea Garden that came out at Essen last year, because he released SETI, Tea Garden, and Galileo all at Essen last year. But Tea Garden did not have a solo mode. Since then, they've released the official solo mode. That's a print and play. But the expansion that's coming out later this year, which I'm guessing is Essen as well, we'll have it in the box. So when that expansion comes out, we'll end up getting that for sure. So yeah, so check that stuff out if you haven't already. Sorry about my eyeball. So I did a video at the beginning of the month doing the most anticipated games of the my most anticipated games of the second half of the year. And if you guys didn't check that out, go check that out. But Vantage was on there, and that's going to be a huge release for me because I'm just super stoked for it. And I think I mentioned in that thing, but I think Vantage will be a channel regular game. I can see it being that way, and I may see about live streaming again, once a month or something, and we can do that. And I think that would be a really fun game to do as a group, as we're all playing. We make decisions together. I think that would be a really fun interactive way to play Vantage. So yeah, so be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping it should be releasing next week, or it should be available on the web store next week from Stonemaier, and hopefully I get it before the end of the month. We also did a playthrough of Pirates of Maracaibo with the Commanders expansion, so it's the new expansion for Pirates of Maracaibo. That was actually here in July as well. I love that game. It's so good. Pirates of Maracaibo is so good. So if you haven't checked out Pirates of Maracaibo, it's really good. The solo mode's excellent. Very easy to manage. Very fun game. Super love that game. So that's what we had going on with June. For July, the poll that you guys had picked, this poll was a hard mode poll. So I polled you guys for several games on the hardest difficulty, and we had chosen between Scholars of the South Tigris, The White Castle, Daitoshi, and SETI. And Daitoshi got mollywopped. But Scholars of the South Tigris and SETI won. So for July, those will be games we'll be doing playthroughs on the hardest difficulties. And you guys know I love SETI, so don't need to gush about that. And Scholars is one of my top 10 games, and it continues to be. The game is it's just so good. Like, it's unbelievable how good that game is. I don't know, just something about it, and it has me super stoked for the expansion stuff, and that expansion stuff should be coming soon. It got delayed, obviously, because of the tariffs here in the United States. Pushed it back a bit for us getting it to the States, but when I get it, I'm doing stuff for it, and we'll probably end up doing doing the Moon Saga. I'm doing a Moon Saga campaign for sure, so for the whole series. So I cannot wait. That's my most anticipated expansion for sure, is the South Tigris stuff. It's toss up between just most anticipated thing in general between that and Vantage. I want to say that South Tigris stuff because I knew much more about it earlier than I knew about Vantage, so I think that's probably a fair thing to say that that's my most anticipated release of the year, is the South Tigris stuff. But man, those games are so good. They actually put a poll up, and it was like the 9 direction games, and it was like A, B, and C for like columns, and then D, C, or D, E, and F for rows, and it was like if you could only pick one row or a column. And the columns were the first, second, and third game, and the rows were each direction. South Tigris by a long shot. They might be perfect. I got to play more Inventors. I've played a lot of Wayfarers, and I've played a lot of Scholars, but I need to play more Inventors. But those games are perfect, and I think as close to perfect as can be. And they're 3 for 3. Like, they're so good. Anyway, enough gushing about that. So Scholars and SETI will be the hard mode games. The theme for July, for the August poll, is going to be really like some heavy games, and so some stuff I have that I've been wanting to play. I don't know if they're all super heavy, but some of them are. So the games are going to be Nucleum, Teotihuacan, Oak, which I don't know if Oak is considered like a heavy game. What was my fourth one? I'm trying to remember what it is now. What is my fourth one? Hold on, let me figure it out. Oh, and Merv. Merv is the other one. I had it hidden behind Galileo Galilei. I knew it was over there. I just don't remember what it was. And Oak is actually not that heavy. It's 3.15. So Oak is 3.15. How do I spell Teotihuacan? Oh, dear. Oak is 3.5. Merv is pretty heavy. The Heart of the Silk Road, Merv is 3.43. Nucleum is pretty heavy as well. Nucleum is 418. Ugh. Nucleum is a beast. And golly, what's the other game I just said? Teotihuacan. Why can't I find it? Nope. It would involve me being able to spell. What am I doing with my life right now? Teotihuacan, City of the Gods, is 377. So those are going to be the 4 games. Sorry, I just had to like go through all that. So Teotihuacan, Nucleum, Merv, and Oak are the 4 games to choose from. And of course, the 2 that get the most votes will end up being the games we play for August. So I'll put that poll up sometime after this video, or before, just around when this video comes out. But that's what we have going on for that. What else in July? We have going on in July. We have we did a play where we're going to do a couple playthroughs of Citizens of the Spark. So brand new delivered Kickstarter here from Thunderworks. I just want to say that like this is my kind of game. This is probably going to be one of my favorite games I played all year. I'm hoping that the playthroughs, well, I've got 2 of them, but I'm hoping the playthroughs really do a good job at showing this game off. It's a card game, and it's just like the possibilities are endless, and I'm just really excited. It's a very fast card game, and I'm just really excited about it, and it's got a lot of stuff going on. So we've got those coming up. I've got a playthrough of Shackleton Base coming up as well. I was going to do a second playthrough of it, but I'm a little unsure about a couple of the rules, so I'm going to put it up, see what you guys think, and if maybe there's some issues, you guys can point them out to me, and we'll do another one, because I want to show off some more corporations. But honestly, that game, it's a heavy game, but everything you're doing actually isn't that difficult. It's just you have a lot of decision space, and I like those being my heavy games, where like the actions, what you're doing on each turn itself is very simple, and it's not hard to, like the rules overhead isn't very difficult. But I've suffered from AP playing the game, and of course, if you're playing solo, it's not a big deal. But like, it's tight. It's a very tight game. And I must be dumb, but the bot completely annihilates me. So I haven't figured out. It hasn't clicked in terms of like I haven't seen the vision yet. So I can use your guys' help. But the bot's a little tricky with the way it places out its structures, and that's I think the hardest part with managing the bot. Otherwise, the bot's very easy too, and does that really cool thing that Gaia Project does, where you have the 2 AI cards and they join together, and like the half of one and the half of the other dictate what the thing is going to do. And I love that because it gets you a lot of mileage out of like less material. Like you're able to have a more dynamic or random or whatever thing with using like half the stuff, which I think is really cool. So I'm always a big fan of that from an AI system. So we'll be definitely doing Shackleton Base. I'm hoping for a couple more deliveries from some crowdfunding we may be getting this month. I got my shipping notice. I got my pre-shipping notice for Shallow Seas, which is a bad comic game. Same people that did Life of the Amazonia and Wondrous Creatures. So that should be coming hopefully this month. If not, we'll see. Vantage, like I said, for sure we're happening. We are going to be starting a Rise of Fenris campaign for Scythe. So the first 2 playthroughs of that are recorded. I'm going to put up that too really quick here soon and have you guys make sure I didn't make any mistakes, because I was like kind of playing and I'm like, did I do anything wrong? Because I don't know. I just don't think I did anything wrong, but I'm kind of worried I did. So but check that out. We're going to have that coming up very soon. And I got a couple other things here and there, but that's kind of really the highlights of what I got going on for July. As always, if you guys, you've seen the games on the channel, you guys see the stuff behind me. If there's anything you guys want to see in particular, I'm always open to those things. If there's any particular game you guys want to see, that's one big thing I made a mention of, and I'm going to try to continue to do, is when we introduce new games to the channel, instead of just doing the one playthrough and moving on, I'm going to try to do a couple more playthroughs, at least 2 for the most part. Shackleton Base was a little much, but we'll come back to it at some point for sure. And I think it's because, you go Google something, you go look up a video, and it's just the one, and it's just like, well, and it's always the one with the standard setup, and it just doesn't really get to show some of the complexities and intricacies of some of the games. Sometimes it's like you get a weird edge case, and you're like, I don't know how to deal with this. I want to see if a playthrough sees that same edge case, and if it's the same like setup and the same introductory thing, and it's one playthrough, you're never going to see those things. You're never going to see those interactions. So I like giving out more. And it helps me out because I can make more videos without having to do, it seems to me, sort of, and we'll get into it at the end of the year about the 5x5. If I do multiple playthroughs of a game, it doesn't hurt viewership of it. I think the first time a game comes up, a lot of people see the first one, and then subsequent ones it's not as much, but it's not like it's super detrimental. So I don't feel like from your guys' perspective, it seems like you guys enjoy them almost as much the second time or third time as the first time. So I think that's a positive for me. So any feedback on that and any kind of comments and thoughts on that would be appreciated. What do you guys think about seeing games multiple times and all that stuff? So the main kind of topic I wanted to get into today was going to be my top 3, in parentheses 4, favorite games that were new to me this year that I played. So I did a video talking about my most anticipated games of the rest of the year, but I just want to touch on a few games that were new to me in the first half of this year that I really enjoyed and I wanted to kind of call out. I played only about 11 new games, new to me games this year. Not every single one of them released this year. So I want to make that point, and this list will have games that released last year or earlier. But I didn't want to do a top 5 or top 10 because I feel like, well, that's half the, if I do a top 5, that's like half the games I played. And so I just want to highlight a few, kind of talked about my thoughts on them and why I enjoyed them, and I'd like to know from you guys what your favorite games are you've played this year so far. I think when we get to the end of the year, we kind of talk about some of those things. I can kind of talk about it more with a greater thing because obviously more games will have been played, expansions will have happened, that'll increase that thought process out. So let's just kind of go into the games, and I had to do this because I've already mentioned every time I can, I have to mention that SETI is one of my favorite games. I think it's a top 10 game, and playing it again, and you're going to probably hear it, I think I said it, playing it again for this month, I reiterate that process. This is a top 10 game for me. I love this game so much. I think what really does it for me is the cards. So that's why this is my top 3, parentheses 4, because I think this was an obvious game that I don't want to make this take up a slot because all I've done is gush about it, except there's an ad. So sorry about that. We'll get through the ad here. So yeah, so SETI, it's a, I don't even know what you call it. I mean, it's like kind of, there's a lot of resource management. You've got this, the card play is really what takes it up a notch, and it makes, this is what really makes the game for me, is just being able to do like really broken stuff every turn. And just reading everything about the expansion has me so excited because, of course, you've got your aliens, which I love the idea of, like, you've got to play this game up until a certain point, and then when you cross this like threshold, the game can change, and you don't even have to focus on it. You can do other stuff. You don't have to deal with the new parts of the game, or you can and completely pivot into that. And I love that. Like, I just love that so much. And then the solo works so well with these objectives that you're kind of like playing around the bot, trying to figure out like, okay, I need to do this thing so it doesn't score on them, but also like I need to do my stuff and get ahead. Like, so it's just, I think the solo game works super well for this. And the expansion, like I mentioned, is going to add 3 more aliens, so you have 8 total, which is great. Then it's going to add asymmetric player powers, so you get starting resources, you get a kind of a boost up, and I think it cuts a round off the game. So like the stuff that's being added moves the pace of the game up so much that they took a round out because it like lasts the same amount of turns. So yeah, SETI, I think it's fair to say it's one of my favorite games. Top 10 game, and yeah, that was my honorable mention because I didn't think it was fair for me, and that was a game that came out last year, of course. So I don't know when this game came out. This might have been a 2023 game, but my first game is going to be Life of the Amazonia. So this is a bag building game. I really love deck building as a mechanic, and bag building is deck building, just with a different set of cards using tokens, but ultimately you are drawing things out of the bag, and you're trying to buy these different land tiles to expand your thing out, Cascadia style. You're buying these. You're trying to attract these animals by giving them food and water, and when you place them, you get scoring. Again, there's a Cascadia element to that, which I love Cascadia. And then you also have some of these like one-off powers and end-game scoring cards that you're buying, and then you've got these tracks here that you are, adding little landmarks and stuff on the board, and it's all done with a bag building mechanism. So you're getting tokens out of your bag, and I like the mechanic of, with most deck builders and bag builders and things like that, you are, playing your hand out and then discarding. You may be able to keep a card or two, or you keep some of your hand and then draw up to your hand size. You can unlock a point in this where you can you can set so many tokens aside and then draw back up to your hand size. So you can start the next round with 8 tokens, up to 8 tokens as possible, and it just makes your turns really big and really fun. And you can always exchange 2 tokens for 1 value of another token, which is really nice too, because then you can get yourself out of a pinch. So this also works in Cascadia-esque, where you're using scenarios. So you have a setup, and then there's like a bronze, silver, and gold kind of thing you're doing with that. And there is an AI that kind of blocks some spots, takes some stuff away, denies you some things. So I think that that's good too, to kind of like simulate stuff getting taken from you. So you do have both. It's kind of that middle ground of, you're not managing too much from an AI, but you are, and they're taking stuff away, but it's not like you're beating a score of the AI. So it's kind of that middle ground of it. But I really enjoy this one. Need to play it some more, of course. But yeah, really like this one. I would say if you're interested in this game, the meeples, the animals, are awesome, but the base tokens aren't great. They're really flimsy. So I did opt for the wooden tokens, and yeah, it's good. So if you haven't checked this one out, this is Life of the Amazonia. I think it came out in 2023. It came out before Wondrous Creatures, and Wondrous Creatures came out last year. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is. The next game is going to be Endeavor Deep Sea. Now this one, I wasn't totally sure, but this game is such an interesting kind of game. I think the cool part about this game is that it's at its core, I think, engine building, and it's obviously a resource management game, but at its very core, it's engine building, and you are getting these recruits, and then you're using them, and I have another ad. I should not have ads on my own videos, I'm just saying. And at the very core of this is an engine building game where you are getting these recruits, and you're placing these little action tokens, and you're doing different things, and you have a variety of different things you can do. And these action tokens also double as tokens on your board to like stake out different, I don't want to say like territory stuff, but like taking actions on the board. You have to put tokens out to do those things. And the board is ever changing, so you start with a couple tiles and then it expands out, and you can go deeper and deeper and get to different things. And there is a limited pool of the tiles, these different ocean tiles, but they come out in different order. They can come out, the tactical picture changes quite a bit. And I think it's just a really neat kind of game. It's not really like anything I've had before. And the solo game works that you do win the game by achieving a set amount of achievements. You can get a score, but it's not really about the score. It's about of the 7 possible achievements you can get, you have to get 4 or 5 or 6 of them depending on what difficulty. And the game's hard, so it's like you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck playing the game, trying to pass the scenarios. There's 10 scenarios, so the scenarios give you a setup and a couple special things to care about. And the scenario boards also have like different achievements. So you do have a variety in what you can do. The expansion was crowdfunded this year. I don't think it comes out till next year, but really looking forward to that. Yeah, Endeavor Deep Sea, big sleeper hit for me. Wasn't really sure about this one originally, and then I was like, well, it looks just so different, and I like the theme. So Endeavor Deep Sea, that's my number 2. And then the final one, this also might not be a surprise to anybody, and I hope I don't get hit with an ad. It's going to be Galactic Cruise. So Galactic Cruise is the big first game by Kinson Key Games, EN02 artwork. Looks like a Lacerda. And my only experience with the Lacerda game was Weather Machine, and it didn't click for me. And for whatever reason this game does, this game just makes sense in my head. So you're working for this corporation that's trying to sell these cruises to people, and there's cruises into space. So you're building spaceships out. You are sending them out and like these tourists out to do stuff and getting bonuses for that. And this game also has really great card play. This is I think this is what makes this game really, really good for me, is the card play. The cards are all busted, and they just do all this really cool stuff, and they just make you feel awesome, and every card you play is awesome. And the cards are multi-purpose, So they'd be used for actions, but they also can be discarded for a resource. And it's just a very, very cool, interesting game. Oh, my dog just came into the room. And so we've done a playthrough of this. We've done a playthrough with one of the expansions. I still want to do another one. There's another dog in my room. Come on, you guys. And yeah, this is just another really great game. It's a really big, heavy game. But honestly, it's big and heavy, but everything about it makes sense thematically, and it makes the game super easy to play and understand, in my opinion. I think this game might be heavier in Shackleton Base. Shackleton Base breaks my brain. This one doesn't. Don't know why, but thematically, it all makes sense to me and it clicks for me. My one little small complaint was that I felt like Rachel, the AI, was a little too easy on the normal difficulty, but upping the difficulty makes her harder, so that works out. Yeah, this is really great. We'll do another playthrough of this very soon with the last expansion, and they're crowdfunding another expansion for this very soon. So very, very excited about the future of this game and this company in general. And yeah, that's going to be my top my top 3 new games to me that I really enjoyed this year. It's not to say I didn't enjoy the other games that I have. Of course, I don't buy games to not enjoy them. So those are just some of the highlights for me. I want to know what you guys think and some of your favorite games you've played this year. And we'll do a big recap of all this stuff at the end of the year when we've got more stuff under their belts. But for the first half of the year, I'd be interested to know what you guys think. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.